Hey everybody, welcome to the live. It's Pearl of Wisdom here. So yeah, I just did. Actually, I did more than one video. I did a couple videos, and turns out my mic wasn't plugged in. So if you guys happen to be watching a video of mine and it shut off all of a sudden, you're like, "What the heck happened?" That's what happened. The sound was horrible, so I got to do another one. Yeah, so you got the Pearl of Wisdom dance. How you doing, NHNR? I'm gonna finish off at about 3:30 today, so I can get that other video back out again. I gotta do, like I said, I did a video, and for whatever reason, I don't know why, my mic wasn't plugged in. Gunsel has COVID, yes. I wonder how much of that we're gonna get. So he's got COVID. Did he? Did they say that he had his shots or whatever? I heard he had COVID, but I didn't hear that he was one of the people that didn't have his shots. So that's weird. Yeah, who the heck is that? Oh, okay. He was impressive. He got a two-way contract. How can you be impressive? When was he impressive? Like he was, where did he play? I saw that. Honestly, I'd never heard of him before. So I didn't know who he was. I didn't know who he was. Well, that's what I was going to do. I was going to see if they would let me go live. Well, that impressive while he was playing, I don't know what that means. How can a shutdown guy be impressive at preseason? During the game, not during the games, you mean like the way he came in shape and the attitude and all that kind of stuff like that? I see. John Wall, happy birthday, Mr. Weichel. Right on, man. What are you, like 20 some years old now or something like that? Wow, what is going on with Facebook is going crazy. I think I have been shut down from posting on groups on Facebook, which would be very bad. I don't know what's going on here. Let me try. I like this. Huh. Is Facebook not working for you either, John Weichel? Well, maybe that's why I couldn't do the video, because there's no use me doing the video. Is Facebook's not working for you either? Oh, okay. Well, that's good. I didn't get to chance, couldn't do the video. Because I would have had to post it on Facebook eventually. That's where I get all my views. So, cool. Works out good then. I was going to go live on Facebook, but since I can't do that. That's weird. I guess they'll have to figure that out. So anyways, we're getting into that 1 week to the regular season now. I'm Laner starting story time every day. Yeah. Now we're starting to see why Laner jumped around all over the place. The guy, and now Vegas is just going to let him go, I guess. They need a goaltender, so they're not going to shut him up. And last I heard, AV talk to the league about it or whatever. I think it sounds like to me, and geez, I hate being like this, but it sounds like to me that Patrick and Laner are like two peas in a pod together, man. I hope the worst part about this sort of stuff is it starts getting you to wonder. You don't want to say anything in case it's true. And then, you know what I mean? But from what I understand, it's totally not true. And it sounds like him and Patrick got together and were, yeah, man, that place, that team there, I had migraines, they didn't listen to me, they gave me the stuff, and so they shouldn't do that. And Laner's like, yeah, man, yeah, they shouldn't do that to you, dude. Can I have another hoot? Like, it sounds like just a bunch of they couldn't wait to get in contact with each other and they could just complain and take on the world. You know, I don't know. But Laner has had a problem everywhere he's gone. In Chicago. Why? Look at Laner's career. Okay, first of all, sad, I'm not going to belittle the fact that he had or has depression issues or whatever the case may be. I've already been there. But he went from, that was the case with Buffalo. He went to the Islanders and had a 1-year contract there. He crushed it. Remember, the whole time here, he played well on the ice, everywhere. It's not like he didn't play well. Then they chose Varlamov for the same amount of money he was asking for. Okay? Now, you can make a case there. Yeah, he was calling out Buffalo and AV of the Flyers. AV apparently talked to the league about it, and there's nothing to it. We'll find out if it's true or not. But then he goes to the Islanders. They take Varlamov. Now, that could be a case where they think that a Russian goaltender might have been a better mentor than a non-Russian for Sorokin. Or it could be that Laner would not be a mentor for anyone, and we're not going to go that direction. He's kind of like a drama king. Chicago Blackhawks went there, crushed it, gave him a 1-year contract, try him out, see what happens. What happens? Off he goes. Again, when they had no real other goaltender, they let Laner go when they really had no other goaltenders. It turns out that Lankinen worked out really well for the time being, but they put the pieces together, man. Why would you keep on trading a guy off that's putting up numbers and has the skill level that he does? And now he's in Vegas and he's saying these things, calling out, saying that he took what's it called? Avian. I think that's what it's called. No, it's not what it's called. I know it's not what it's called. But what is it? I mean, okay, I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying that the storyline here, from a young goaltender that has his side, speed, everything, has put up the numbers he has, you would think that a team would absolutely take him, right? Would give him the $5 million a year. And it goes all the way to Vegas. And now that he's got he's got the contract, he's coming out in public and calling out of this stuff. Is it necessary that you have to publicly do this too? Patrick came to you. They find out that he was getting Ativan. for whatever. I don't know if he was or not, or whatever the case may be. But is it necessary that you have to publicly go out and take care of this? You can't call up the people in the league and say, I think we got an issue here of a coach giving his players Ativan so he can sleep at night and all that kind of stuff like that. You got to do it in public. Again, what is the public necessity of this? Why does this have to be pushed into the public forum like this? You have a team that you're playing for right now. The AV, what is the AV? The connection is Patrick came over from Philadelphia, and now him and Patrick babbled back and forth to each other and came to this conclusion or whatever. He says he has proof and all of this kind of stuff like that. And if this is all the case, if a guy's giving away Ativan like that, a coach is, without any doctors, saying that that's something that they should do or what have you, then yeah, sure, look into it. But what does he need to come out? Patrick just got there. What does he got to come out in a public forum like this and be like, Yes, Patrick was having problems way before he got to Philly, but the whole thing he said, he specifically mentions AV, the coach, he said, giving him these Ativan. I don't know if it was Ativan or there's another one that starts with an A or whatever. I don't know if Patrick was cool with him letting it out on Twitter or not. I don't know. But the point is, Patrick just got there. You get this and then you Twitter it. What I'm saying is, if I'm in the league, if I'm an owner of a team or what have you, I'm going to be like, can you have Lehner come up to my office right away here? Why are you publicly expressing this when, you know what I mean? Like, there's avenues we can go down if this is an issue. Well, I know that Lehner has all the tools and ability to be the guy. I'm questioning him as far as focus mentally on what he's doing. And I think that all the teams that Lehner has moved around from feel the same way. He seems to be like he wants to be the knight in shining armor for the league or something of that nature, or people, or whatever the case may be. And whatever it is, he's putting himself in a public forum that is two things. A, could be difficult for the team that he's playing for. And B, could be difficult for him to do the job that he's supposed to do. And C, could get a lot of people in trouble if it's not accurate. So you better make sure. Did he talk to the owner before he said he was going to Twitter all this stuff? There is a guy paying you your salary here. There's somebody paying your salary here. I'm going to take a lucky stab here and say he didn't call up the owner of the Vegas Golden Knights and say, I'm about to just start being the justice king of the league for whatever's going on and what happened in Philly and all that kind of stuff like that. I'm going to take a lucky stab and say he didn't bring that up to him. I'm just going to take a... I know of course Lehner has had nothing but praise for playing in Vegas. But I'll tell you what, if his owner calls him into his office right now and says, I don't want you Twittering that crap without telling me anymore, how much praise is he going to have? It's easy to have praise when you can just do whatever the heck you want, carte blanche, anytime you want. Yeah, sure. Just see what happens. I find it very hard to believe that an owner of is not going to step in here and say, at least behind the scenes, and say to Lehner, like, this is not the way we're doing it here. I just find it very hard to believe. You welcome it. Why? I don't get the point. Those are huge accusations. And if they're not true, then what, as an owner, Lauren, are you going to do? You have this goaltender tweeting out accusations, and if they come back not true, what happens? Come on. If I'm an owner, you know the liability that's involved here for these kind of accusations, these kind of accusations and lawsuits and all of those sort of things like that? Well, this isn't a way to do it. And actually, he's decreasing the chance of it happening by doing it this way. Because if he did it in the right forum, in the right way, he would have a better chance of it happening. If it's not, he doesn't know if it's true. He's saying that he says he has proof of it. What is his proof? Apparently, the league doesn't think he has proof of it. And if I'm an owner, I'm going to be going, you show me the proof of it, and I'll tell you if you have proof of it, since I'm the one liable for your mouth. Yeah, if they didn't shut him up, they made a big mistake. He showed a picture of his mangled foot. He could be sued. The owner of the Vegas Golden Knights could be sued for his words too. I don't know if you know anything about liability, but there is liability that you have for your employees if you don't go down, if it doesn't go down the right path. If you don't prevent something from happening when you know that it's happening. So if somebody wants to sue for slander, the owner of the Vegas Golden Knights can also be sued for slander for that. So if I'm an owner, I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm on board with you if there's a problem here, but I want to know, I can pass this through my lawyers, please, before you go off twittering it everywhere. And if you do it again, you're done. There's avenues you have to take. Like it or not, I don't care if you like it or not. You want to be a lone soldier out there and go fight this battle, then you go do it. You're just not making an NHL salary while you do it. Well, he doesn't even have to be lying. It could be just not true and he doesn't know it. He may believe it. Not only that, we're talking about the law here. It could even be true, but proven without, for some reason that it's not, where, let's put it this way, there could be not enough evidence even though it's true. And because there's not enough evidence, it would go as not true, in which case you could be sued for slander. Then talk to each other. That's fine. You don't want to go back to Philadelphia because of something of this. AV did this or whatever the case may be. Then that's your choice. And behind the scenes, I'm sure they know a lot more than us. But publicly accusing somebody of something like this is huge. It's not just some thing you can go to bed the next day and nobody cares. This is a huge accusation. And if the Philadelphia Flyers know it to not be true, say, for instance, Patrick is mad at Philadelphia and is saying a whole bunch of stuff he thinks to be true, but it's not actually true. Lehner goes out and does it on Twitter and posts it on Twitter. Now, all of a sudden, you've blown up a situation that wasn't even true or inaccurate in the first place. Maybe Patrick isn't thinking he's lying. He just doesn't know all the facts himself. I mean, there's a million things here that you don't touch this with the 10-foot pole unless you go right down the proper avenues. And if I'm an owner, I'm losing my mind here. No way. No way. I understand why owners try to say it. I don't think you can. I don't want anybody using social media because of stuff like this, because they're liable. Yeah, like I said, I'm not going to put my thoughts on the whole situation. I don't know what's true or not true. I have no idea. All I know is that the only thing I do know for sure, if I'm an owner and this is happening, Lehner's coming up to my office right away, and he's going to shut up right now. Period. Just shut up right now. And if you don't like it, I'll find a breach and you can get out of your contract and you can go away, because this is not the way we're doing things. There's no way we can do it like this. Okay, I agree. There has been huge changes. Look at what they did for headshots and all of those sort of things like that. But it happened the right way, the right avenues. It's one thing if you want to give your life to this cause to go into the medical aspect of sports and the way they use painkillers and all that kind of stuff like that. Wonderful. Quit playing hockey and go do it. Or find an owner that's going to support you through the whole thing. And maybe he has. Maybe the owner's like, yeah, I support him in this, but he better publicly come out and say it. Like maybe he has. There's avenues, a way to do it. My inkling is that the owner of the Vegas Golden Knights didn't have a clue what was going on here, that he was going to do something like that. And there's something being done about it right now. That's my inkling. And the fact that Patrick is attached to it like this, just creating drama in a situation when you're at a time when you need to focus on what you're doing on the ice. Maybe there's a reason not just to do with migraines. Maybe we know where the migraines came from. I don't know. But I know one thing. When he left Philadelphia, he was a bitter dude. In interviews, he was bitter. Now, if these guys were feeding him drugs or something, I don't know. But take care of it some other way than this. Because now you're just adding new drama to the team you're going to. These things can be taken care of in a different way than that. I think, anyways. I don't know. Even the NHL themselves will say, yes, we'll look into this, but don't be taking care of it like that. You thought it was great the other night? I don't know if you were watching the same one I was. I did watch a period or so of that. I don't know. When preseason, I just can't get into it. Every time I see somebody flub a check, not take a guy in the corner, all of those sort of things like that, I just can't get into it. I'm just like, how could you just let that guy go? I watched some of it. I just couldn't get into it. I can't get into it in preseason. So it's just the way it is. I've tried, but I just can't. When I was younger, when I remember, I was like, Yeah, I know we shouldn't talk baseball, but it is pretty disappointing. That's all right. They're going to have an awesome team. If they would have been able to get some a bullpen earlier, they would have been a lot better off. Yeah, I didn't. I watched it, but like for me, when I see a scoring chance and I know that the guy goes in a corner, defenseman follows him in, and basically just waves his stick and then kind of swerves out and comes back. When I know full well in an actual, when they're playing actual hockey, he'd take him out there and there's no way there's a scoring chance at all because you take out the man there. Then they pass it out to the slot and the guy's wide open with nobody there to like, and even if they were there, they would basically just wave their stick. Like to me, I just like, whatever. It's not a scoring chance to me. It's just pond hockey. I'm so negative today. What the heck? Oh my gosh, I'm just in a ranty mood, I guess. You're 19? Oh, okay. Well, you're a very smart hockey guy for 19 years old, buddy. I like we've gone over this before. I don't see they already have their rosters made pretty much. They might move things around, but you're not really learning much in preseason. They know who's going to be cut already before they play a preseason game. They've already got it figured. So they might check things out to see, I don't know, like what information are you getting when a guy can go into a corner and not get hit, can stand in front of the net forever and nobody touches him. Most of the veterans aren't even skating that hard back. The systems are, there's no real system to be created there because the game is not actually happening. So maybe some chemistry as far as timing is concerned, except the timing isn't the same because the game's not as fast. The game's not as being as played as fast. So it's just more or less people being able to get the passes back and forth. It's not even a matter of whether I like to see it. I think that if it's not happening, there's really nothing happening. That's the way that's what the game is. Anything other than that, if you're not checking and you're not taking the man out and all of those things, those are essentially what hockey is completely about. As soon as you take that out, it changes the whole timing of the game. You're not getting actual timing or anything really. There's really not much you can get out of it. I don't think, anyways. Yeah, they pick up Malton. Oh, by the way, I'm going to be having my picks videos coming back again, and we'll be doing some more Malton. Oh, I was hoping the Malton Bull would be better than he was because I just love saying his name. So I hope Montreal can do something to make him look good. Malton Bull. Anyways, I hope that Montreal can do something to get him to play in the NHL because I just want to say his name a lot. I can't even share this out because Facebook is done, so that's all right. I'm happy having you guys here, right? Right. Never been on the board with Jesper who? Kokaniemi? No, that's not Jesper. That sucks. 13-game road trip. Wonder how many back-to-backs are in there. If there isn't too many back-to-backs, they should be okay because they're a killer road team. Oh, Jesper Fast, yeah. Yeah, one more year. Like I said, there's a good example. Jarvis could come in and get like 12 points in the preseason, and Foss would still get the spot. Yeah, they're a really good road team, though. So it might not be too bad. If they could just keep it at 500, then, you know, the good news is they're going to have a lot of home games after that. So if any team it could happen to, maybe the Islanders might be the team best prepared for it. Yeah. No, not 13 straight. Well, there is 13 straight away games, but not like 13 day after night after night after night. "13-game road trip is a lot, yeah. But if they can keep it to 500, it'll be all right. But man, that's going to be tough. Tough for any team. If it's going to happen to any team, though, the Islanders are probably the ones most likely. Well, maybe not. Who do they play in that 13 too? I don't know who they're playing on that 13-game road trip. They probably play the Leafs once. They probably play just about it. Like 13, 13 different teams, I'm not sure. Like I'd really want to, I don't know. I haven't looked. Well, not only that, you also have where one of the biggest things with away games is where you change. Where you do line changes, you're further away from the home team gets the advantage in line changes on the first and third periods. So that's big. Plus the travel, like you said, just the feel, everything, all of that kind of stuff like that. And if you're traveling for 13 straight games, that's a month at least. No, more than a month. That's like a month and a half. That's a long way from being from home and all that kind of stuff like that. Yeah, well, that's the thing that was the hard part. I heard they were going to keep Jarvis for 9 games because there's no. I mean, they're stuck between a rock and a hard place because Jarvis is going to learn nothing at junior. Man, their junior team hopes that he's going there, and whoever's doing the World Juniors this year would be freaking happier than heck. But really, for his own benefit, there's a good idea. There's an example where I think you should be able to take one player every year that can be junior exempt. Every year you can take one player that you can send to the AHL. Something like that. I think they have to do something because this is hurting the development of too many players. There's nothing for Jarvis to learn in junior now. He's going to absolutely destroy that league. And halfway through the season, you know, they'll probably have to call him up because they'll just be ruining it. They'll just be crushing it there. Yeah, it would be nice, but the problem is the only way the junior teams survive is with that talent. If they don't have that talent, then junior teams probably wouldn't survive. So it's hard to find a balance. But I think every NHL team should be able to have choose one player that is junior exempt that can play in the AHL every year or something. There has to be something. I think that's about the only way they could do it. It's just take one player every team. Is San Jose to Montreal the longest? Could be. I don't know. Geography off the top of my head is not my strong suit. Yeah, they claim that. What was it that happened there? Somebody got injured in New Jersey in the exhibition game, and everybody stood around. Nobody did anything. So they claimed him because he's like a goon pretty much. And they at least have somebody to call up in difficult physical games maybe and put him in the lineup. Or at least in the AHL anyways. They don't have anybody that can provide that role anywhere in the organization. So at least when they put their young players down in the AHL, they have a guy out there that can come to defend them a little bit. But a few days ago, you heard something weird about CBAs and how the Canadian teams are allowed to be trained or loaned. It was a weird condition. A player to get help. In what way, Lauren? Get help in what way? Heard somebody weird about CBAs and the Canadian teams are allowed. Get help in what way? Heard somebody. Like what development they are allowed or not. I don't know. Okay. Russian players that came over would have to pay the team that developed them? Really? I'm not aware of any of that. Maybe at one time. I don't know. I doubt very much that that's still the case. Maybe at one time. Oh, we got 22 more players placed on waivers. Alexander True, I would pick him up. Seattle placed Alexander True on waivers. I don't know why I like that guy. I'd give him another shot. I'd give him a shot. But if you, it would have to be better than somebody you already have, I guess. But Carson Twarynski is also put on waivers. I wouldn't doubt if Philadelphia picked him back up again. Matt Tennyson, nobody big there. Tyler Sakura, Brendan Gaunce, always these are all. Gavin Bayreuther was sent down again by the Columbus Blue Jackets. Devontae Stevens, John Stevens. Nobody really special except, I think, Alexander True is probably the best of the bunch there. Twarynski, I could see Philadelphia picking him back up again just to kind of stick it to Seattle for not taking one of their bigger guys that they wanted to take. Gavin Bayreuther was picked up by Seattle and then traded back to Columbus, and now they are sending him to the minors. I think it's unlikely any of these guys will get picked up. I kind of liked Gavin Bayreuther when he played, though. I don't know. Maybe somebody will give him a shot, but he has no offensive talent whatsoever. That's the problem. Like, he's decent defensively, but offensively he's got nothing. And that's really why. Like, you got to have some sort of offensive acumen to play in the NHL, really. Unless you're Goodbranson, of course. And then you can do whatever the hell you want. But I'd say Bayreuther is probably about every bit as good as Goodbranson. So it'd be a nice, cheap pickup just to throw somebody in there every once in a while. The only thing is with Goodbranson will drop him, and I've never seen Bayreuther drop him at all. Drop the glove. So maybe that has something to do with the reason why he didn't. He doesn't make it, because if he's a pretty big boy, but he doesn't drop the glove, so not a very good combination in the NHL to not be very offensive and not drop him. I don't know. I haven't watched him enough to see how physical he is, but I'm going to guess that it's not as physical as a team would like from a guy with his big body. Where is Bayreuther? Gavin Bayreuther. He's 27 already, too. And he's not even that big, 6'1". I thought he was bigger than that. He had 12 points in 14 games with Cleveland last year. But when he comes into the NHL, he just can't handle it. Okay. Denoyer. I don't even know who that is. Wow. That would be a goaltender for the Philadelphia Flyers, I'm guessing. I'm a Philadelphia fan, and I don't know who that is. How do I not know that? No, it's not a goaltender. Or maybe it is. I don't know. No, it's a forward. Okay. He was drafted, what, middle of the first round in 2020? In the fifth round? Okay. He got 49 points in 37 games in the Q, and he's 5'10". His odds of making the NHL are about 1.5%. Somewhere around there. In the Q, I mean, getting just over a point a game in the Q is pretty much not that big of a deal, especially for a guy who's only 5'10" and thin. So he's going to have to figure out a way to play a physical brand of hockey, or kind of fearless. If he's a fearless type player, he might be able to have a chance. Oh, yeah, it's still a chance. Yeah. Yeah, it's not very likely. Of course, there's always a chance, and guys are going to work their bag off to try to make it their dream to make it to the NHL. But those numbers at that age, with those numbers in the QMHJHL, with his size, it just makes it very highly unlikely. Yeah, Dawson Mercer's got way more to his game than just points. Dawson Mercer has been an overachiever every single... I just did that. Well, I did it in my video, but I got to redo the video again because I forgot to unplug the mic. But he can't play in the bottom six. I can almost assure you of that. He certainly won't be playing in the bottom six now, like maybe 2-3 years from now, possibly. But not likely. I mean, so not likely. But I suppose, like you said, anything can happen. But like I could, if you put it that way, I can say a lot of things. Gustafsson will win the Norris next year. Anything can happen. I mean, he's a defenseman in the NHL, so at this point there is a possibility. But yeah, probably, yeah, AHL. Those are possible AHL numbers. Possible. I would say possible AHL numbers, because there's lots of guys that average over a point a game that can't even play in the AHL. So yeah, he's got a long way to go yet, Ponomarov too, even in the K. Yeah, he will develop. Yeah, Quebec does a lot of offense, that's for sure. It's the way they draw people to their game, because it's offense, offense, offense. Fast, quick, playing high-octane offense. But it definitely makes it difficult when you have to, develop to the NHL, because it's an eye-opener when you see what how you have to play the full set of full ice. And if you're not conditioned for that, it takes time, that's for sure. If you're big and if you're big enough and play well defensively enough, 1 point a game in the QMHL might get you in there, but you got to have lots of facets to your game. If your predominant strength is off offense and you're only getting 1 point a game in the QMJHL, there's not a very good chance you're going to succeed. I mean, even if you, and that's assuming you did this early too, like at 19 years old. If you're 21 and you're putting up 1.5 points a game, that doesn't really mean much either, because you're now, a grown, pretty much a man playing against boys. So yeah, he's just a prospect. Every team has, there's hundreds of prospects like that. 4th to 7th rounds, or 4th round to 7th round picks that have nominal offense and, slight frames and stuff like that. There's very few make it, that's for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's not looking like a very likely possibility that he'll. Well, he certainly won't make the roster. I mean, that would be absolutely insane. The odds of him actually making the roster, especially if it's his debut right now. Why is he debuting now? They're taking a quick look, giving him it's a feel-good thing. Throw him out there, let him play with his idols, and then send him back to junior for work on becoming a much more offensive player or something of that nature, I would say. We brought up New Jersey. We were saying something about New Jersey. I can't remember what. Oh yeah, it was. They brought up Mason Geertsen. That's who it was. Now somebody got injured or got hit or something, and everybody stood around and did nothing. I can't remember what the situation was, but Mason Geertsen is a guy that takes care of that kind of stuff, so probably won't play in the league either. I don't know. I always thought Crosby was pretty decent defensively. I mean, never great, but good enough. And then he just kept on improving. Because there's nobody that works on his game more than Crosby. Maybe somebody might work on it as much, but nobody more. Like, he's constantly working on his game. Yeah, Crosby likes to cycle, yeah. He likes to play with people that cycle the puck. Raffle had a bad hit? What do you mean, like got hit poorly or something? Yeah, you got to crush it offensively to get drafted out of the QMHL. You don't see maybe more defensemen drafted out of the Q and goaltenders. Defenseman, because you're always looking for offensive defensemen. The USHL, the college ranks are getting pretty popular for prospects, for sure. Yeah, see, that's what I mean is, like, you see what the Coyotes are doing right now. I was just talking to some Coyote guys after I posted my last video. I was talking to some guys in the Coyote groups, and they're saying, they're really hyped because the Coyotes are playing hard and they're outworking everybody and stuff like that in preseason and doing stuff like that. And that stuff, all you're doing is pissing people off. You're not like, I know Turney has no other choice. Torney, I believe is his name. Because if Arizona's going to win, they're going to have to outwork the opposition. And Turney, by the way, is known as a badass. Like, he's kind of an old school kind of guy. So he knows that he's got to put that in place in Arizona, even in the preseason. But if I'm the other team, coaches and managers, like if I'm a manager and I saw what happened to him there, if he sort of jumped through a check in preseason, or the guy came across and hit him, even if it's a legal check, and the guy puts his full body weight in preseason or whatever to one of my guys, I'm calling up their general manager and telling them, you teach your boys to settle down here. But we'll remember that when we come to play you next time. Because that's not what nobody wants anybody to get hurt in these preseason games. So it's sort of like a code. You don't hit somebody as hard as you can in preseason. And for the most part, you just kind of float away from checks. And as soon as somebody hits somebody like that, you're going to have a mark on your chest for a while. Because the next time there's an actual regular season games, guys are going to take liberties to you. And even referees will let it remember that. Because that's just asking to hurt somebody. Nobody's prepared for a hit like that in preseason. And I know Torney he's kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place because his reputation is that. So his reputation as a coach is to have his guys working as hard as possible and hitting and all of those kind of things like that. And he's a new coach, so he has to build that culture, which makes it difficult. Like, I don't blame Torney for what he's doing because, it's his first, he has to build that culture in Arizona. That's what he has to do. But basically, I'd be like, I don't want to, if I was a owner of a club, I'd be like, I would take off all my Arizona games. I don't want my guys playing Arizona this year in the preseason. Nobody picks up Senyshyn. Senyshyn can't skate worth a damn. I still can't believe to this day when I heard them take Senyshyn in 2015, I was like, what the heck are you doing? I mean, I admit, I did like Senyshyn at the time in the second round, and it wouldn't have worked out if I would have took him in the second round, but not there. His skate, why would you take a guy whose biggest problem is he needs to skate faster? Skating is the hardest thing to teach, and sometimes you can't even get, their body type won't allow them to get any faster. That was just the stupidest pickup. I don't understand what they were doing there. I'd love to know what somebody thought there. Oh no, you get, yeah, if you slew foot, or there's lots of ways you can do that. Get a bad reputation. It's like, especially in game. In game, a guy can say certain things to another player that the ref hears. And he can say stuff that's like, oh yeah, okay, you're just being an annoying bat. I'm going to let you take it for a little while. He'll get a slash here, a cross check there, and the ref will put his whistle away to smarten him up. There could be all kinds of stuff. He could see, he hears everything that's going on the ice, and if he hears a guy, if he knows in his, like in the back of his mind, if he knows that a guy got away with something because he didn't see it with his eyes, but say like a certain player that he knows wouldn't lie about that sort of thing, says he two-handed him or something like that, he'll keep that in the back of his mind. I think that's why a lot of times you see like blatant penalties not called, is because the referees sort of, all right, we'll put the whistle away for that guy. And in preseason, if you're a referee, it gets around. If you're a guy that's out there, smacking people around and body checking people in preseason as hard as you can, you're gonna get a reputation about yourself, and the referees will definitely put that whistle away because they're there to protect the players. Josh Archibald is out. Yeah, it's something health-wise or whatever. It's a health issue that you can get after acquiring COVID or something like that. And apparently he won't get vaxxed, or can't, or I don't know. Can't judge somebody on the vaccine. I wouldn't judge anybody anyways on that. But I don't know if he can't or whatever. So he's not vaxxed. That's basically it. And he also got some sort of illness that's common after, for people that are not common, but people get after getting COVID. That's what I'm trying to say. So he'll probably be out for a while. Oh, I think he will, yeah. It's just an illness. It'll go through him eventually. But no, I don't think anybody picks up Senyshyn now. I don't. He has really done nothing in the NHL. Well, every time I've seen him, I'm like, oh my gosh, you don't belong here, dude. Yeah, I figured there would be a pill eventually. Yeah, they'll probably relax the rule. There's also a thing called BioCloud. It's made by a company called K&R. And what it does is you plug it, you put it up on a wall, and it will alert you if there's any COVID in the air at all. Go check it out, K&R. It'll alert you that if there's any COVID in the air at all. I actually have some investment in it, but so I think things like that are going to come out too, where they have preventative measures, because it's not just COVID. The same scientists that said that COVID was coming or something like this was coming, also said that it's going to keep on happening over and over and over again. So we're going to end up having to live in not getting vaxes or whatever all the time, but we'll have to have safe environments like that where with technology they'll have it so it just permeates. You won't even notice that it's going on and it'll tell you when it's in the air. They'll be identify where it is and all that kind of stuff like that. So it's only a matter of time. All right. One of the things I was going to do is I was going to look at how some of the depth charts now and see how they've lined up the lines. Hockey News Reports sent me something for how Montreal was going to set up their lines. And in Cap Friendly, maybe I'll see if I can window capture this. Okay. Ah, shoot. So Cap Friendly, guys, can see that all right? You got Toffoli, Suzuki, Caulfield as a top line. That's what everybody thinks, but and then Drouin, Dvorak, and Josh Anderson. Do you think Toffoli, Suzuki, Caulfield? It's an exciting line, but well, we'll get into the Canes one in a bit. It's an exciting line, but I'm a little afraid that it's just not. Who's going to get the puck out of the corner on that line? I don't like Josh Anderson. But if I'm going to play Josh Anderson somewhere, I would probably play him on that top line, honestly. Because he can, defensively, he's a basket case. But that line will be built for offense, I guess. And he can get the puck out of the corner really well. Oh, yeah. I'm all over the Kraken on that opening day jacket, for sure. All over that. Don't tell anyone, though. Now they got, okay, before they used to have, who did they have on that left side before? Oh, they got Mathieu Perreault now. Now that I like. Mathieu Perreault. Alex Belzile. See, this is just because of preseason. There's no way that that's who's going to be there. Who's missing here? Let me go back here. They're just going based on who they were playing on preseason. Because Belzile is not going to play there. But I could see Mathieu Perreault playing there. In fact, I would play Perreault up here instead of Jake Evans and bring Jake Evans down. How did I do this? I had somebody play the right side. Oh yeah, Hoffman is injured. That's right. Hoffman was injured. If Hoffman wasn't injured, I had him on the right side. That's right. So then you would keep this together. Then put Hoffman with Dvorak and Drouin because he's got to be in your top 6. You can't do nothing below your top 6. And then Anderson ends up on the 4th line, which is where I think he should be. And Gallagher, I would put Perreault up here with Armia, or with Lehkonen, actually. And then Armia, Evans, and Anderson. Paquette's not going to make it, man. Paquette's not going to make that roster. In and out, in and out. He'll be in and out of the roster. Who do you want to see now? Yeah, the defense is not looking too good. And then, of course, the price is not. Bruins? Okay, let's look at the Bruins. First of all, I should change my title. Okay. Bruins. Okay, so we got Marchand, Bergeron, Pasternak, obviously. They still got Hall, Coyle, and Smith, so they're still rolling with that. Then DeBrusk, Haula, Foligno, that makes sense. Yeah, that sounds about the way it would have to be. You may want to try Haula up here if Coyle doesn't work out. It's the center position is rough for them without Krejci. Forbert with McAvoy, Riley with Carlo, Grzelcyk with Connor Clifton is a little tiny defense line. Whew. That's not a very big line at all there. I better check. The first line is definitely off. Oh, Zachary McNally. How you doing, buddy? Woo! Thanks for coming in, man. Everybody, some big up chat. Get some hype in the chat for Zachary McNally. We're doing, what we're doing right now, Zach, is, if you don't mind me calling you Zach, is we are kind of predicting the lines for every NHL team and how they're going to play out. I think Cap Friendly kind of has it nailed here. Anybody do it differently? Would anybody do it differently here? I can't. The only thing I could see is maybe Hall up in the second line. Possibly Foligno up the middle. But I don't. I think he's better as a winger. Honestly, I think they just got to trade for a different. I just can't see Charlie Coyle all of a sudden turning it around this year. But as far as defense is concerned, Grzelcyk and Clifton sure seems like a pretty small 5'6". Yeah, that's what I think. That's what you think the lines will be. Zaboral, see Vakanainen. I don't know where they are now in their development. Again, there's another one of that 2015 blunder of picking Zaboral in that spot. I didn't understand that. Geez, if I would have been picking in that spot, and a lot of other people would have, I would have had Barzal and Connor. Just imagine. Now, there's reasons why sometimes that doesn't happen outside of our understanding, but Jack Studnicka, isn't it? Studnicka? I think that's how you say it. He's got to make it close this year. And if that's the case, then I don't know whose spot he would take. He's got a tough job to take one of those spots, but they've been building him up for a long time. All right, who do we got next? What team do you want to look at next? Right now, they got Linus Ullmark as a number 1, by the way. Colorado. Okay, we'll do the Ducks after Colorado. Where's Colorado in there? Right here, right in the middle of the pack. Colorado still has cap space. $1.5 million cap space. So as of right now, they have Landeskog, McKinnon, Rantanen, obviously. Then Nichushkin, Kadri, and Burakovsky. Makes sense. Burakovsky will purposely avoid people as much as possible. Nichushkin is there. He can't help but run into people even if he's trying not to. And Kadri is Kadri. Jost, Newhook, Comfer. That should be a fun line to watch if they keep it like that. Super fast. That should be good young line. Good legs. Good energy line. Newhook. Jost, I wonder if he can step up his offense a little bit, but that'll be pretty interesting. Newhook is going to fight for Kadri's second spot, I would imagine, yeah. But is he going to make it? Is he going to get it? I don't know. I don't know what Bednash is like. Like, how much better do you have to be than the veteran to grab that spot? We'll find out, because he hasn't really had to do this too much now. So yeah, that's probably not going to happen. They're probably going to give Kadri every chance to redeem himself here. I think they'll give him every chance to redeem himself. I like Maltsov, though. I'm not sure about the Helm move, though. That's got to be character reasons why they grabbed Helm. Who is scratched? Stefan Matteau and Kiefer Sherwood. Curtis McDermott is hanging around just in case somebody needs a punch in the head. Defensively, well, what do they have here? Day-to-day. Taves and Makar, Gerard and Johnson, Byram and Murray. Probably the best defense in the league. Incredible defense there. Martin Kaut, I thought, okay, he's injured. Martin Kaut, I thought, would give it a really good go. I could see him moving, taking a spot from like Helm. He's got to be ready soon. 22 years old. Super stacked defense for sure. I've heard that there's a lot of good things going on with Sampo Ranta too, but they haven't plugged him in there yet. A little, I thought, you know what, they're a little more thin on depth than I thought. Unless Oscar Olsen, I mean, Shane Bowers, is he finally ready? Like, he's never going to put up points. He might be your... Yeah, it depends on, there's a little bit of depth issues, I think, but maybe. Anaheim Ducks you want, okay. We'll look at the Ducks. I don't know. Zegras has got to be on. Getzlaf will be the number one still, probably. Just out of respect. Yeah. Sonny Milano. They're giving Sonny Milano finally going to make it to an NHL roster after basically having attitude issues for quite a while. He's going to grow up finally. What was the Avs backup again? Oh, Francouz. It all depends on if he's injured still or not. I don't know. They say that he's perfectly... they have Anisimov, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they picked up Anisimov. I think they gave him a PTO, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. So, Milano, Getzlaf, Terry. Comtois, Zegras, Raquel. Jones, Lundestrom, Silverberg. That's a good defensive line. Lundestrom is very good defensively. I like that kid defensively. He looks like he's going to be a top third line center. Jacob Silverberg, his offense he's always been very good defensively, but his offense has slipped for the last little while. Sam Steele on the left wing on the fourth line. That's not good. That's not good at all right there. But unfortunately, that's all he's looked like so far in his career, though. And then Adam Henrique on the fourth line as a center with Nicolas Deslauriers. They'll be rolling four lines here, I would think. Well, I don't know how he's progressed so far. I don't know how much he's built up his body. Where he is physically. I know last year you had to have very sheltered minutes. It takes some time. So I don't know. I think as Drysdale improves, you'll see Josh Manson get traded, maybe Kevin Shattenkirk and stuff like that. But and then John Gibson and Anthony Stolarz. CL will like that. Stoley's got a second. Finally got a backup. Stolarz is finally getting to start in the NHL as a backup in the NHL. Make himself some money. Stoley the goalie. Yeah. And then Derek Grant is still an NHL player. Alexander Volkov as a scratch. I really like that guy in Tampa Bay. Maybe I saw more in him than there was. Yeah, it is good for him. Fights his way from the minors, played in the ECHL, I believe. It's one of those guys that fought for everything he had. Josh Mahura, this is a big year for him, and as of right now, they don't have him even making on the roster. Go Caps! How you doing, Go Caps? Welcome, buddy. We're doing, we're making up the lines for every NHL team. We're just going to send them off to all the general managers so they don't have to work so hard. So they're probably all watching right now, I imagine. So now they won't have to worry about doing, coaches. Just, they'll send it to the coaches, and the coaches will know how to do their lines. So you don't want people working too hard. They can go have a nap. Awesome, buddy. Doing freaking awesome. Glad to have you in. They got Greg Patterin. Who are we doing here? Oh, I didn't know they got Greg Patterin. Brogan Rafferty, they got him from Vancouver. Yeah, it's going to be a rough go, I think. I don't know, Sonny, they're going to need some big things from guys like Milano, Terry, all of these guys who have really not progressed at a great level so far, have got to really progress this year if they're going to have any chance at all. And Reeder, yeah. It looks to me that they're set up to be able to trade off some of these guys and get some picks this year, finally. Is that supposed to be okay? All right, who's next? What team's next? Arizona next. Oh, I know. I thought so. It was either I know or it was supposed to be okay. Okay, let's go to Arizona, because everybody loves Arizona. This is the kind of hockey fans we are. This is the kind of hockey fans we get in at Pearl of Wisdom Industries. Hockey fans that care what Arizona's opening day lines are going to look like. Phil Kessel's injured, but right now they still have him as Keller, Schmaltz, and Kessel. Barrett Hayton's injured too, my gosh. They can't afford any injuries. Lawson Krause. Yeah, look at the picks. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll look at those afterwards. It is crazy. Lawson Krause as your number 2 left winger. That sucks. Christian Fischer is your number 2 right winger. Oh my God. Neither one of those guys can skate very well. And then Ryan DeZingle, I think you got to put him above Krause, don't you? The 4th line, Roussel, Beagle, and Erickson. Oh, that is hilarious. Just imagine that you are, just before the trade, Yeah, Lawson Krause, yeah. Just imagine before the trade to Vancouver, you get a call from your agent and say, you've been traded. And you go, okay, well, where then? And they're like, Arizona. You got to be kidding me. Yeah, Arizona. And then, like, both of them almost at the same time, both of them will say, well, at least we don't have to play with Louis Eriksson anymore. Yeah, something else there I got to tell you. Yeah, Louis going with you. And then, yeah. So you got to shuffle off. And you're like, well, at least we won't be on the same line. They put them all on the same line, man. Oh my gosh. Just imagine, like, I know they're making $3 million a year, so they're probably, their pillows are probably very sufficient for sleeping. They're not losing much sleep in that way. But still, I don't even know, like, that's that fourth line. You've got $12 million wrapped up in your fourth line for last year, a grand total of 10 points. I can't wait to see how many points against that fourth line gets compared to. So they still, I noticed this before, they got Lyabushkin playing beside Chychrun, Gostisbehere and Strawman, and Kobienko, who's got, like, Kobienko, my gosh, dude. His first chance, like, I'm set. I'm going to be able to play in the NHL. I'm going to open night, and he's got a freaking knee injury. Kobienko has been trying to find a spot on that roster. Seems like forever. Finally gets his chance. He's got a knee injury, but it's day-to-day apparently, so that's all right. And then Condor Timmins. And then the wonderful pairing of Carter Hutton and Josef Koronash. Oh yeah, it's going to be an absolute gong show. And there's like nobody that's going to... There's nobody even to bring up. They have no depth at all. Dylan Guenther loaned. Where is he loaned to? Oh, Dylan Guenther was already sent down. He's already in the Western Hockey League. Huh. Yeah, that's a disastrous lineup. Okay, give me another one. That's terrible. Roussel, Beagle, and Eriksson. Dmitry Yaskin, they gave him $3 million. He must have been doing backflips, man. He was like in the KHL, and then all of a sudden gets a phone call to come. Like, he's tried in the NHL forever. And now he had a good year in the K, and they gave him $3 million one-year contract. Cha-ching! Winnipeg. The Winnipeg Jets. Let's go do Winnipeg. See where they got. I was just looking at Winnipeg. I looked at all of them, actually. Not going to lie. Where the hell are they? They should be up here somewhere. Yeah, third. No cap space. Okay, we'll do CBJ after this. Connor Scheifele Wheeler. Kopp, Dubois, Ehlers. I like that they're putting Kopp up there. Stastny doesn't have the offense that he used to, and Kopp should get a really good chance this year. I believe he is, yes, on a contract year too, so he'll be heavily motivated. Stastny, Lowry, it's just the big question mark is can Vesalainen play? They're giving him like nobody's there. It looks like they're giving him carte blanche. They're gonna give him a full shot this year. And a team that used to have a solid fourth line, it's a little suspect now. Jansen, Harkins, David Gustafson, and Riley Nash. That's what I'm a little worried about there. Would you guys do it any different? I might load up that top line. And I'm not sure about Dubois. Well, Dubois has really got to have a big year this year. If Dubois doesn't come flying out of the gates, I'm gonna be like I'd be really concerned, for sure. Then Morrissey and Schmidt, nothing has changed. Like the lines have not changed on Cap Friendly for Winnipeg for a long time. Logan Stanley got a lower body injury and it's unknown how long he comes back. That's not good. They still can't afford injuries to their defense, although they got one they can use in Heinola. Ville Heinola. But I'm pretty sure they want to move him pretty slowly through. Dylan Samberg. Dylan Samberg is injured. 2 months. Oh, man. That is too bad. This was a big year for him, and he gets a freaking injury, and he's out 2 months. Nathan Boyu will probably have to play. So the defense is better, but I still say it's a big question mark with Schmidt. Okay, what do Columbus Blue Jackets? Laine, Jenner, and Voracek. Jenner? This morning it was Tessier. Now they got Jenner playing there. It makes sense, actually. Jenner's going to play all the defense for that line. He's just going to play all the defense. Well, Jacob Voracek's not terrible defensively either, but they're going to want them to play some serious offense. Voracek passing to Laine is going to be pretty sweet, actually. When they made that trade, I thought that was a pretty good idea. Voracek is an awesome passer. Then Nyquist, Tessier, Bjorkstrand. Nyquist hasn't played a preseason game yet, but apparently he's good to go. They're just not using him in preseason right now. I like Tessier. So he'll get a really good chance this year. Then Shinnikov, the off-the-board pick from 2020, is now all of a sudden in the lineup at 20 years old with Jack Roslovich and Emil Bemstrom. Yeah, Liam Foudy. Sean Corrali, who's from Columbus. Now I understand why they signed him. I think they've now realized that they have to grab players as much as they can around that Columbus area so they don't lose them all the time. Then they have Werenski playing with Jake Bean. That'll give Jake Bean all the opportunity there that he couldn't get in Carolina. Do you like that third line? Robinson, Corrali, and Liam Foudy. Lots of speed and size, yeah. That's a pretty fast line with some pretty good size. I agree. That is pretty good. Gavrikov and Boquist. And Kukan and Andrew Peake's going to get his first real chance in the NHL. A little bit of skating issues there, but he's big. He's been stewing for a long time. Hopefully he's ready. Weird thing about this is they got Rorensky and Bean are both lefties, and Kukan and Peake are both righties. Yeah, he was a bottom pair in Carolina, but he's going to get his chance here. I'm feeling Bean asked to be moved in behind the scenes. And the reason why he wasn't picked up by Seattle was I don't know if they're going to try Werenski on the right side or no, they're saying Bean, so. Yeah, they probably would be favorites until they lose. We can look at Tampa Bay, yeah. Yeah, they're favorites until they lose, I guess. It's going to be a little tougher this year for sure, though. Palat, Point, and Kucherov. Killorn, Cirelli, Stamkos. Matthew, Joseph, Colton, Perry. That's, I don't know, how many minutes can Perry hold on to? I almost think Patrick Maroon should be up there. Perry down with Alex Barboulay and Bellemare. Barboulay is a pretty small player for your fourth line, but they use him to get offense from that fourth line. He can scoot around a lot of the slower guys, and he's pretty tough for his size. So, what do you guys think about that top 12? While you're thinking about that, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. What's gross? It's worse than Arizona's. What? Bellemare, Brule, and Patrick Maroon is worse than Arizona's fourth line? I like. Is that what you're talking about? Oh, okay. Oh, you hate Tampa Bay. Okay. I forgot about that. Sorry about that. There you go. Now you can see me. Oh, my tie's off. Anyways, it's not bad. First line will probably get lots of points, yeah. I'll go back to it again. And then they got Boris Kachuk. Looks like he's going to make this lineup. He was in college, right? He's from Vancouver. And last year, yeah, he had 34 points in 29 games in the AHL. Another guy that they, like 2016 second round pick. He's 23 now. I think he makes that roster. I would be surprised if he doesn't make that roster, to tell you the honest truth. He takes out, who is he? Left wing, though. The hard part is he's going to have to take Bellemare to do that. The blue line depth, yeah. I'm not a huge Ruda guy, but I mean, he's not terrible. It's not as good as it was last year. I'm not a Bogosian guy either. But they do have Cal Foote, who is injured. 6 weeks he's going to be injured for. They sent down Charles Hudon. He's still trying to make it in the NHL, eh? Their depth is okay, but their forward depth is so strong on the roster that it probably isn't going to hurt them too much, even if they have guys that are not ready. Pretty sick lineup. Sorelli didn't have the greatest year last year, so he's going to have a bounce back year. I mean, I could see some issues cropping up here. I'm not sure. I'm certainly not as confident as I was last year, but they're still pretty good considering they've won 2 cups in a row, and with and everything, they're still pretty darn good. No doubt about it. Who are we going to look at next? Who are we looking at next? Or do you even want to do that? We can do something different. Mercer, Carolina. Okay. I wonder, is Lawrence still here for Carolina? He already told us what it is. Okay, we'll do Carolina, then we'll do the Blackhawks. No problems. Window capture. All right, we're doing Carolina now. Yeah, I saw the Svechnikov stall and fast. It doesn't make much sense to me. Might have been something to do with preseason, but I could see Niederreiter, Aho, Nietzsche, and then Svechnikov. But it's probably going to be Svechnikov, Aho, Nietzsche. There's so many ways you can do this lineup. There's so many ways that you could do this lineup. I like Ian Cole. I don't mind Ian Cole. I think D'Angelo is going to have a better year than people think. Top 4 is fine. Ethan Bear. That'll be the interesting one there. We got to do Chicago after that. Then we do the Kings. Yeah, it's probably Svechnikov, Aho, Nietzsche. Kotkaniemi, Trocheck, Teravainen's fine. And then Niederreiter, Stahl, Fast. And then Martinook, Stepan, Levo. That's what I would say. And then you still got Lorentz and Stefan Nissen who can do fill-in spots all right. Hey, Bill, how you doing, buddy? You missed Boston. We're doing what we think the lines are going to be for each team. Yeah, it would be Foss, Niederreiter, and Jordan Stahl. Yeah, I think Peterson will be very good. I think Gardner's career is almost over. It doesn't look like Letunov is going to make it. 25 now, still not getting much of a chance. But they got Chatfield, Keane, LeJoe can fill in a role. They have some pretty good depth on forward. Suzuki and Jack Drury will probably get their chances this year. Should be a pretty interesting lineup for sure, I would say. Well, I think they're just running off of some preseason lines that the coach played around with or something like that. I don't think it's their choice. I think they look at. I think Nietzsche is going to be on the top line this year, Lauren. KK, Trocheck, and Teravainen. I agree with you on Nino Stahl-Fast. Now, Niederreiter, they can experiment all over the lineup if they want to get depth, keep their depth going through the whole lineup. It's kind of an interchangeable lineup. That's what's so great about it. Yeah. Can Lorentz play left wing? He can. I guess Josh Levo is the only guy they got for that right side right now, eh? Okay, let's look at Chicago. And then LA. Yeah, I don't think they're going to do that, but you never know. I mean, Brindamore might want to get the more offense through all their lines. You never know. First, we'll look at Chicago. Kirby Dach. That line's going to be sick. DeBrincat, Doc, Kane. That's a killer first line. Kubalik, Taves, Hagel. I like it. Kurashev has pushed himself back into the lineup again. He's freaking super hard worker, that guy. Johnson, I don't know. Connolly, send him down. I'd rather keep giving Nylander a chance, although he was injured a lot last year. And then Dylan Strome on the fourth line. He just keeps on going further and further down the lineup. Yeah, for sure, because of Fleury, yeah. Dylan Strome. You can't play. I mean, that's not good. That's not good. If he starts the season on the fourth line, his career is heading in a bad direction. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean. I could see him doing that. McCabe, Jones, I like that a lot. Calvin DeHaan and Murphy's good. This was Riley. I think you got to go Calvin DeHaan and Mitchell and Stillman and Murphy. Mitchell and Stillman together, just I can't see that working. They're too green. And then Adam Goudet. This is a year, man. He's got to do something this year. I forgot they have Juha Kaira. Juhar Kaira. I forgot they have Juhar Kaira. And of course, Caleb Jones, again, having a difficult time making Chicago's roster too. Lucas Reichel, watch out for him. I could see, if not this year, next year. They really wanted Borgstrom, but the guy just has no creativity whatsoever. His career's fading backwards. But he should get a chance to play a bit. I love Wyatt Kalnick. I think he's going to take one of Mitchell or Stillman's roster spots. Lefty, probably Stillman's. Then Nicholas Beaudin. They got some pretty good depth, Chicago. I think they could do. Yeah, I go on. I go long now, Lauren. Has Facebook started up again yet? Is Facebook still down? LA Kings. I probably will just do the video tomorrow now, but what are you walking against their fat? Explain that one to me. Oh, I see what you mean. They're trying to hang on to something that they shouldn't be hanging on to. I think they're just knowing Jonathan Toews has probably told them that if you're not going to try to win now, then I want to go. So they're making it look like they're trying to win now. But I think they could make the playoffs. With Marc-Andre Fleury there, you just never know. Yeah, maybe 3:30. I don't know. It depends. Is Facebook up? I'm figuring out if I want to do that video today now. I think I'll just scrap it and do it in the morning. I think I'll just do the video in the morning and I'll have it out tomorrow. I already got it set up. I know what I'm going to say, so it'll be really easy. I just wanted to put it out today, but I'm having fun with you guys, so might as well just keep going. LA Kings. There we go, LA Kings. It's still down. See, I can't even share it, so there's no use me even doing the video. So Arvidsson on the left side now. They had him on the right side on the second line before. With Kopitar and Brown. I like that. Because I'm not a big Iafallo guy. Iafallo, Dano, and Kempe. Wow. Speedy little line. I don't think they're going to produce too much offense together, though. It doesn't feel like a highly offensive line. Kind of a weird line. They all like to do the same thing. I think they'll try to turn that into a shutdown line. Ketchup, Velarde, and Elias Anderson's making the... Oh, poor Velarde. Ketchup better be able to prove some offense. I like Ketchup, Dano, and Anderson better. I'd put Velarde up there with Iafallo and Kempe. And obviously they don't have Turcotte or Byfield in the on the fourth line. Why don't they put Velarde on the wing? I like Velarde better on the wing. I saw they played him on the wing for a while and he looked really good. More Byfield and Wagner. Walk against his fat, yeah. Kessel, yeah. Ketchup is great. I wouldn't say I wouldn't. I mean, if I remember correctly, Ketchup put like 38 points in 45 games in the K. Not a big shooter. I wouldn't say he's great, but we'll see what he does. Maybe he's got a good two-way game. I don't know. I'd have to take a look and can't tell in preseason. So, and I can't watch him in the KHL because I don't get the game. So, I can just go by what I've heard. It's pretty decent playmaker. Kind of very small though. Elias Anderson has just got, he's just a straight, he wants to be the number one right winger guy. He thinks he has tons of offense, but he doesn't. He's a straight up and down winger. Good third line winger at his peak when he's progressed to where he's going to be. So, yeah, it's not a bad spot for him. I don't think he's got the offense of Lindholm, though. I don't think Elias Anderson will ever have the offensive Lindholm, though. Elias Anderson's probably about a 30-point guy, something like that. $30, maybe 40, might reach 40 one time in his career. Brandon Lemieux is a scratch again. Andreas Athanasiou hurt? No. You tell lies. Is that guy ever not hurt? He's either injured or hurting. I think he's a vegan too. He was always talking about that in Oilers, like preaching about veganism and stuff. Drove people crazy on the Oilers. Yeah, he's a 30-point guy. No, I think with Velarde he's a 30-point guy. I think Velarde would be way better on the wing. But we'll see what he does this year. I've been a big Velarde supporter for a while now. So Martin Furk stayed down, so he can play. Alex Turcotte. Where are they sending Turcotte? Are they playing in the AHL this year? They're going to go down to the AHL for a while yet? Kaliev, Kupari, all of those guys should be playing pretty soon. If they can play right soon and crush it, that lineup is going to be awesome. But they need that to happen. Tyler Madden. Wow, a lot of so much depth on this lineup. It's crazy. As far as forwards are concerned. Even Byfield might start, yeah. Well, if you're going to play him on the fourth line, he should start in the AHL. Why put him on the fourth line? Yeah. Okay, what team are we going to now? This is a very deep lineup. That's why they're one of the sexy picks this year to make the playoffs. I have them making the playoffs. I think that with Dano there, Kopitar is going to get. Sparks fell off pretty hard, yeah. Yeah. Like I said, preseason doesn't really say much at all. If there's one thing that preseason can show, though, is like goaltenders are playing well because they're getting a lot of shots. But yeah, that would be the one thing I would say. But they're not going to. Sparks has not been able to show it all his whole career, so he's not likely going to get a chance. Now, it's a little late. Where are we going? Edmonton? Oh my gosh. Let's see what Tippett's doing with Edmonton Lions, eh? Tippett. What are you doing with the Edmonton Oilers lines, my friend? You know what the first line is. Hyman, McDavid, Puljujärvi. Puljujärvi has looked good in camp so far. So if he can progress the way he can progress, that lineup could be absolutely insane. That first line, anyways. Did I miss a team? Sorry if I missed a team, but Nugent Hopkins, Draisaitl, Kaler, Yamamoto. Tippett will keep these lines together through hell and high water too. So Fogle, Derek Ryan, Zach Kassian. Okay, that's a line. And then Brandon Perlini's scored some goals in the preseason, so they're going to give him a shot. With Shore and Kyle Turris, who I don't know what he's like. I don't know if he better have come into camp in shape because he said he was going to. Brandon Perlini, too, apparently he had a bit of a partying issue. If he kind of dropped that and is playing, you never know. But I don't know what that line's going to look like at all. And then Nurse with Barry. Oh, my gosh. Darnell Nurse with Tyson Barry. A goaltender's delight right there. Holy crap. Might as well just, wow. Two of the worst, not worst, oh my God. Then Cody Ceci. And then Chris Russell and Evan Bouchard. That's a disaster. Chris Russell's hurt. Oh, good. I mean, not good. I don't want him to be hurt, but... Oh, he's only day-to-day. Oh, my gosh. Why did we do this? I was having a good day. And then I had to look at this. Evan Bouchard, yeah. Evan Bouchard's got to take Cody Ceci. But just imagine Cody Ceci and Chris Russell together on the same line. Cuckoo could come in and play. Dylan Holloway's still in training camp. Oh, he's injured though, right? Oh, 3 months. Dylan Holloway is going to be... I didn't know he was going to be 3 months. Oh my gosh. That's not good. And then just, they got some pretty good guys to bring up and play. Broberg's going to play in the AHL this year. That's good. Xavier Bourgeau's had a good camp, but he'll be sent down for sure. But that defense is absolutely horrible. Horrible. They better win a lot of 5-3 games because that's what they're going to need to do, I think. Am I losing you guys? Yeah, that's one good thing we got going. They're waiting for Konovalov to come around, but until that happens... Okay, good. I just says I got an error on my stream. When I looked back at it. Okay, what are we doing next? What team do you want to do next? Florida, okay. I've been looking at that a lot because that's going to be an interesting team this year for sure. Well, Florida's still got $2.8 million in cap space. Do they have to sign anybody? Everybody's signed and they still got cap space. No, we can do Calgary after this. That'll be fun. Verhaeghe, Barkov, and Sam Reinhart. Then Huberdeau, Bennett, Tippett. I don't like this because I like Tippett being up here. But I want Sam Reinhart as a center with Huberdeau. Reinhart, Huberdeau, and Owen Tippett. Then Sam Bennett on the right side with Barkov and Verhaeghe. That would be one good grind in line. And then Vetrano. I guess Rustel. Where's Lundell? No, Lundell maybe not make it this year, or at least early, anyways. There's got to be an injury here. There's something missing. Duclair can't play defense to save his life, though. That's the problem. That's why he's on the fourth line. He can't play D. He's soft as hell. That's the problem. Where else is he going to be? Where are you going to play Duclair? Right wing. Can't play him on the third line. No, man. I would. You said play Huberdeau with Barkov. I mean, I don't mind that, but Reinhardt's a shoot first center. Huberdeau to Reinhardt, the guy would score 50-some goals. It would be insane. But they're going to try to have him make Bennett that. Bennett will probably score. Anybody who plays with Huberdeau up the middle is going to score a lot. Okay, what would you guys do on these lines? I would go, I don't mind Verhaeghe, Barkov. I would put Bennett there. Or Owen Tippett. Owen Tippett, Barkov, Verhaeghe. And then Huberdeau, Reinhart, and Sam Bennett. Then Vetrano, Luostarinen, and Horkvist is fine. Maybe Vetrano, Luostarinen, and Duclair will be the pure offense. Just have a pure offense. And put Hornqvist on the fourth line. There seems to be a center missing here, though. Lundell. You don't think Lundell's going to take Joe Thornton's spot? Really? I don't know if he's ready or not. As far as D is concerned, I think Matt Kiersted makes this team. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't make this team. But he's going to have to take Brandon Montour's spot, which I think he should. The Montour deal to me was a little weird. Yeah, Hornqvist and Leclerc, yeah. Duclair. But I don't want, you can't put Vetrano on the fourth line. Well, I don't know. I thought maybe he might be two, but it's hard to say. I can't tell now. I mean, he had a point a game in Finland last year, which is okay. You know, it's not like getting a point a game in the KHL or anything, but 16 goals in 26 games is good. So he's a shoot first guy, but they probably just don't want to go too fast with him. That's all. We'll see what he does. What was his 185 pounds, 6'1"? He could do to gain a couple. I wonder if he, I don't know where he is physically or what. I don't know. Like he'll be in the lineup soon. That's for sure. I would say. No doubt about it. But if they don't need to have him in there, maybe it's not a good idea to put him in there yet. Let him go down to the AHL and crush it for a while. Defense needs work, yeah. Yeah, I don't like Nudavara, and not a huge fan of Montour either, so. But I do like Gregory Denisenko. I thought he might make the team this year, but he didn't. They sent him down. Where is he? I like Matt Kierstead a lot. I really think he's going to make that team. All right, what are we doing next? The second pair is the third pair. Oh, I disagree with you when it comes to Forsling, but maybe Gudas, yeah. Gudas can fit, yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. It's not, they could use some more depth. And I think that's the reason why, like, they've got so many forwards here. I wouldn't doubt that one of these forwards is traded for a defenseman, plus this year. Toronto. Yeah, talking about that. Where's John Weichel today? My gosh. Just thought about that. Haven't seen him all day. Manson would work. Yeah, something like that. Austin Matthews is out for 6 weeks. I didn't know he was out that long. When was that starting at? I thought he was going to be back pretty much by the start. Does anybody know there? Is that from now? He's going to be out 6 weeks from now. Toronto could be in big trouble. Anyways, assuming he's back now, Richie, Matthews, Marner, of course, is what they got. Mikhail Tavares, Nylander. What? Their Bunting was in the top 6 at one time. Now they're putting him down with Engvall and Spezza. I don't like Kampf as your third line center. I would rather Kerfoot be the third line center, Bunting up there, and add somebody else. Andre Kasha is not if he can't make it, they're in trouble. If he's still having problems, like not recovered from the injuries, they're in trouble because they don't have much. Oh, there's John. What's not going to work? What are the lineups going to be, John? There, we found John. John's here. What are the lineups going to be, John, for Toronto? Is Austin Matthews, when did he go on IR? I thought it was a while ago. He's not still going to be out for 6 more weeks, is he? If Matthews is going to be another 6 weeks, and then Morgan Riley, Brody, whatever, Sandin, Dermott. Sandin hopefully will be as good as I think he's going to be this year. Bunting and Engvall. I don't think anything in Engvall is going to work. I think Bunting should be up with... it should be Matthews. Okay, Matthews, Marner, and Bunting. And Bunting plays doesn't play any penalty kill, just 5-on-5. But they want that big body up there with them. So Richie's probably going to be there. And I guess Bunting, Tavares, and Nylander. And then Mikheyev, Kerfoot in the middle with Simmons. And then Kampf, Engvall, and Spezza. Well, that's what I think it should be. But I wouldn't play Bunting on the power play or the penalty kill. I would just play him 5-on-5 because his body is too small. He plays a type of game for his body that it's best for him to play at full, not be worn down through a game too much. It's like Connor Sheary in Washington and what's his name now in Ottawa? Come on, Ellis in Ottawa? No. Pierre Engvall, yeah, you can't find you put him on the 4th line. That's where I'd play Engvall. I'd play Engvall on the wing with David Kampf and Jason Spezza. Actually, I would play Simmons, sorry. I'd put Spezza on the 3rd line. I would totally switch this around. Mikheyev, Kerfoot, and Spezza. And Simmons, Kampf, and Engvall. He can be a 4th line guy. He's got speed. He can get the puck and then just cycle it down until they get tired and get the hell off. That line would just be about keeping it in the opposition zone. That's all they can do. And that's all you're supposed to do as a 4th line. So I don't know why they would have it like this. Wayne Simmons can't skate well enough to be in the 3rd line. I don't know what they're thinking there anymore. He doesn't have the legs anymore. Well, Adam Brooks, yeah, I don't know how much he's progressed so far this year. They're going to have a pretty killer AHL team. Brooks, Robertson, Gusev, Amadio, Cini. Gusev they might keep basically as your 14th forward. And then Joshua Hosang I still don't think he's going to make the lineup. I think people are dreaming. But you never know, I guess. They have, for defense, they have like nobody. Timothy Liljegren, I don't think he's ever going to make the NHL. He looks terrible. Yeah, I don't think Ho-Sang makes it. Ho-Sang has all of a sudden got to not be a puck hog that passes the puck everywhere at the worst times, is soft as butter, and can be pushed off a puck by going. You can just go, and Josh Ho-Sang falls over. Carl Dahlstrom. Okay. Yeah. What about him? There's no depth on that lineup at all. It's terrible. If there's injuries, they're in big freaking trouble. Big trouble. Unless somebody just surprises the hell out of us. I don't see who that would be. All right, what do we got next? If you're in here now and you're watching, we're doing depth charts or we're doing the lines for each team. Tell me a team you want to see to put the lines together for, and we'll do that. Oh, you agree with me, huh? Seattle, right. All right. You said Seattle. See if that's changed. It stayed pretty stagnant so far. Oh, Schwartz, finally they got McCann as their number one center. Finally. Yes, McCann should be their number one center for sure. And Eberle. That might give Eberle a chance to have a good year, having McCann in there. Not a very big line. It's pretty quick, though. Yeah, we already did Boston, Weichel. Marcus Johansson on the wing. A couple days ago, they had Johansson as a second-line center. That is not going to work. He's not a center, no way. Johansson, Wenberg, and Yarncroc. That is too soft. But then I don't know what you're going to do about it. And that's my problem with these Seattle forwards. They're soft as butter, these guys, except for Morgan Geekie. And then when you get down to the fourth line, I would have... Who would I do? I'd put Appleton. Appleton's got to be up there, man. What are you doing? Appleton, Wenberg, and I guess you got to go Marcus Johansson. I'd put Appleton on that line. Then Dunskoy can, what do you got? Dunskoy, Geekie. Oh, Yarncroc. I forgot about Yarncroc. Where the hell is Dunskoy going to fit here? This is why I was surprised they didn't trade Dunskoy to begin with. Like already. I don't see how he fits on this lineup. Yarncroc, okay, so Ryan Donato, get the hell Ryan Donato out of there. Yarncroc, Geekie, and Donskoy. That sounds better. Yeah, and then Ryan Donato. Then you just need somebody for Appleton's spot. You could put Donato there, I guess, but that would not be ideal. He's not what you want to do there. Oh, look at this. This has Cholowski making the team this year. Giordano and Dunn. Fleury, Larson. Really? Who the heck's going to get the puck out of the zone with those guys? That can't be right. My gosh. No, that can't be right. It's got to be Larson and Giordano done in Fleury. Or something like that. It's got to be. Oh, Colin Blackwell is injured. And then Nathan Sebastian doesn't. Now that's who you put, Sebastian up there. Ryan Donato is gone. Ryan Donato is a scratch. And put Bastian, Sheahan, and Tanev. Donato can't play defense with the darn, and his offense doesn't even come close to make up for it. Like I don't see Donato lasting in that lineup. Really? Parker Kelly? I don't even know who that is. And then when Yanni Gourde comes back, they'll have to all change up again. Move Geeky to the wing when Gourde comes back, maybe. What do you guys figure? Do you guys have it that way too? Jeremy Lauzon is not making it so far, or William Borgen. Cholowski is taking both of those spots. Either that or it's just a preseason thing. Interesting, though. Do you guys agree with that? Anybody disagree? Speak up now or forever, that sort of thing. If you have okay. If you have nothing else to say about that, give me another team. Let's look at another one. It's fun tabs. Oh, Susie, yes. Where the heck is Susie? You're right. Carson Susie. A scratch? Are you kidding me? Carson Susie's going to take... Well, I guess... Yeah. Wow. Thanks for bringing that up, dude. Carson Susie should be taking Hayden Fleury's spot up there. Why does this guy get disrespected so much? Yeah, for sure. And you got two lefties. Oh, Cholowski can play the right side, but still. I'd be playing Susie and Larson together. What the heck did Hayden Fleury come in and show that much? Really? Yeah. Good point. Good point, Hajin. Susie. That's crazy. I forgot all about Susie. I don't know. That's going to be interesting. That's for sure. Okay, the Ottawa Senators. Welcome, Hajin. Thanks for coming in, buddy. Ottawa Senators. Most cap space in the league. He was okay. He was no Susie. I don't know why Susie's getting disrespected like that. I don't know. Maybe he's injured a bit or something like that right now. I can't see Susie not making that lineup. No way. Can't see it. All right, so they got Formanton on the top line with Josh Norris. Athanasiou to Ottawa. Nobody wants Athanasiou, Hajin. Nobody. Nobody. Nobody wants his fragile vegan ass. Nobody. Sorry to say it. He just, maybe it just happens to be that he is, but could anybody be more fragile than Athanasiou? Like, people wince when he sneezes probably. Like, hopefully he doesn't pull a back muscle or something. Ennis. Ennis is the one I was thinking. Ennis plays 5 minutes a night, or 10 minutes a night. It's Sanford, White, and Ennis. Talk about that is a great energy line. Kachuk, of course, will take that spot from Formanton when he signs. Stützle, Pinto, and Brown will be interesting to watch. But I'm glad they have him on the second line now. And then Paul, Tierney, and Watson is a serviceable fourth line. Athanasiou is always hurt. At any given moment, you can say Athanasiou hurt, and you're probably right. Shabbat, Zaitsev, yeah, it's a way it's been for a while. Brandstrom and Zub, I love Zub. And then Holden and Brown, it's going to be all about the goaltending, though. Murray and Forsberg. Yeah, well, you've got to find somebody who'll take them. You'll probably end up putting them on waivers and nobody will take them. Bishop is... Oh, Clark Bishop was going to make the team and now he's injured. Oh, Victor Mete. Okay, he's injured now. Okay, Mete will be in there for sure. It'll be Holden and Mete. Not Brown. That makes it a little better. Nah, he's not that great. You definitely don't want him in a 1-2 spot. I'd rather have Zub up there. And Zaitsev. But then Zaitsev with the young Brandstrom is probably not the best combo either, so... Kelly Parker made, it doesn't say he made the team yet. And it says that he's injured and they don't know when he's going to come back. So, Kelly Parker, is it Kelly Parker or Parker Kelly? Parker Kelly. He's from Camrose. He's from my neck of the woods. When did they draft him? Or did he get drafted? Not drafted. So they signed him out of junior. And he got 18 points in 33 games for Belleville last year. Point-to-game player, how big is he? Not that big. Interesting. Yeah, well, see how Sanderson turns out there for sure. It doesn't look like Rossi's going to make it in Minnesota. Every time I think of Sanderson, I think they could have had Rossi. So it's good. They're always going to be compared to each other. Oh, yeah, that's right. You don't like him because he left Toronto. He wanted out of Toronto, right? I forgot about that. No wonder you don't like him. He asked to be traded in Toronto. I forgot about that. I mean, he's okay defenseman. He's not bad. I mean, he's not terrible, but I wouldn't want him in my top two. A 3-4 would be all right. I think Boldy's better on the wing, but we'll find out. I like Boldy a lot, yeah. But Rossi's a pretty special looking dude, man. Rossi reminds me of Backstrom in Washington. Boldy's really good. It's hard for me to peg what I would put him as. Do you want to? We might as well do Minnesota since we're talking about it. Let's do Minnesota. Minnesota Wild. Kaprizov, Eriksson, Atkins, Zuccarello. I think that's the line that they've always used before. Jake McCabe is hurt again? Oh, no. Talk about a guy that's always hurt. Man, oh, man, oh, man. Greenway, Hartman, Foligno. I mean, Hartman can't be your second line center. Rask, Goudreau, Fiala. I'll tell you, Everson should get Coach of the Year if this team makes the playoffs and with forwards. They're in that Central Division. Broding, Dumba, Goligoski, Spurgeon, Kulikov, and Ben. Ouch. And Marco Rossi is a scratch at the moment. And then Matthew Boldy, they still have him as a center. But he put up good numbers in college, that's for sure, last year. Matthew Boldy. I just think Rossi's more dynamic for sure by a long shot. Yeah, they've been playing him as 2C for a while. And that's the problem with Minnesota is, well, they had Rask there, but they're trying him on the wing now, which might be better for him because he's not fast enough to be a center. And Rask was propped up quite a bit because he played with Kaprizov a lot last year. Now they're going to put him on the wing with Goudreau and Fiala. Frederick Goudreau, where did they get him from? San Jose, wasn't it? No, Nashville, that's right. Cole Caulfield's back from injuries, that's good. Yeah, it's, and this Brandon Duhaime, I keep on saying that, seeing him there. I don't know what the heck he's doing there. Fourth rounder in 2016. He had 9 points in 24 games last year. He puts up a lot of penalty minutes. He's feisty. I guess that's why. He's working his butt off onto the lineup. 2 first-round picks, Allison and Sturm for... No way I'm giving that up. Oh, to get rid of the cap? Oh, I see what you mean. Wow, that would hurt. 2 firsts? I can't do it. Maybe 1 first. And Sturm too? Maybe 1 first. I don't like giving up the first. Nah, I would just struggle through it. Keep on getting draft picks and get ready for 4 years from now. You'll be a beast of a team. You get Ekholm back. I get it. It makes sense. I mean, it makes sense in the sense that but by the time, even then, by the time they're relevant, Ekholm will be too old. Like, yeah, I get what you're trying to do there, but I don't think it works. Something around that could work, though. I still think they need to get... They don't have much depth. Kuznetsov and Firstov should be playing pretty soon. I would be getting as many draft picks as possible. Ryan O'Rourke, Lambos, Philippe Ghost. They got some guys coming up. What, Minnesota doesn't need the first? Maybe 1 first. I wouldn't give 2. It's going to be a deep draft, super deep draft. And I don't think Ekholm makes them much better. So they could be out of the playoffs. That could be a really sweet draft pick. I don't like giving up draft picks. I just don't. I don't think you're ever deep enough. Unless it's going to be like you're going to win the cup right now. But I see what you're saying, because then you can add another... You can go after another center, maybe. No, we didn't do Philly yet. Kenny R. Oh, they might win tonight. I don't know. It's preseason, so couldn't tell you who's going to win in preseason. Take all the dogs in preseason and you'll do well. No, we didn't do Philly. We can do Philly. Yeah. Are you a mini fan? You're a mini fan, Kenny? They're going to lose Fiala? Maybe. Oh, really? Jeez, Whitechell comes up with all the news all the time. Philadelphia Flyers. Where are they? Philadelphia, here we are. I've looked at this over and over and over again. Right now, they have Cam Atkinson on the 3rd line with Brassard and Lindblom. Brassard is a passer all day. No doubt about that. But, I mean, that's not a checking line by any stretch. We'll do Penguins after that. Oh, just like them tonight. Oh, okay, cool. Van Riemsdyk, Frost, and Farabee. second line. I hope Frost pans out here. Really do. And then Giroux, Couturier, Konechny. Now, I was thinking, honestly, I think they're going to go back and forth between Atkinson and Konechny. They're going to compete hard for each other. That's what I think is going to happen there. Konechny may start up on that line, but if he falters, then Atkinson will go down there. And Lawton, Nate Thompson, and Obe Kubel. Well, where are you going to put Lindholm, though? Oh, you like Lawton as the center on the... I wouldn't doubt if Lawton took... But they don't like Lawton up the middle. And Philadelphia does not like using Lawton as a center. And I don't see him taking Lindblom's spot. I think Lindblom... Well, if he's healthy and ready to go and fully recovered from his cancer, could end up taking Van Riemsdyk's spot. I don't know. It's hard to say. I do know that Yandel and Braun, I feel sorry for Braun. Braun is going to have to do everything in the defensive zone there. The good thing about it is if he can get it to Yandel, Yandel will get the puck out of the net, but keep it off of Yandel's stick to start off with. Well, Yandel will keep it off his own stick because he won't go in any corners or anything like that. If it happens to land on his stick, then he'll be fine. Then he'll be good to go, but he's not going to strip a puck from anybody, that's for sure. That'll be all Braun's work on that line. Ristolainen and Sanheim, not a bad idea. You got Sanheim that's a little too soft and Ristolainen that's over-aggressive. So maybe the two will make it, even it all out. And then Ellis and Provorov, that's fantastic. I like Provorov and Ristolainen and Ellis and Sanheim. And then I would love for Cam York to beat out Keith Yandel. It shouldn't be too tough to do. Todd Richards had a heart attack? Oh, shoot. That guy... Wow, that's too bad. Well, yeah, with Ryan Ellis. Well, I'm not going to say much about Ristolainen until I see him play in the regular season, but eventually, if he tones it down and keeps it simple and doesn't play like he did in Buffalo, then yeah. I'll like it more when Kevin Hayes is back. And Wade Allison. Well, that's the thing is, every time I've seen York play, he has gone above what I thought he would be at that time. He's gone above projection over and over and over again. Okay, we'll do Pittsburgh, and then I'm out of here. I got to get going. Pittsburgh Penguins, and then we'll do this again tomorrow. I don't know. We might have to do some video stuff tomorrow. I was just looking at Pittsburgh this morning. It's looking pretty ugly without Malkin and Crosby. Gunsel, Jeff Carter, and Brian Rust. 36-year-old Carter, the #1 center. A shoot first guy, too. Sort of weird on that line. But then who else are you going to put there? Right now, they're using Ivan Rodriguez with Zucker and Kapanen. That's ugly. I'd rather see Teddy Bluger up there. I think he'll end up being there, really. And then Rodriguez with McGinn and Danton Heinen. Oh, my gosh. This lineup can't make the playoffs. I'll be blown away. Like, if they make the playoffs, Sullivan finally gets his Jack Adams. Reese, Lafferty, and Anthony D'Angelo. Now, Crosby will be back, but it doesn't look good. That should make you happy, right, Seal? Demelin and Letang. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Matheson, Marino, Pedersen, and Chad Ruhwedel. It's just not pretty. And then Tristan Jarry and Casey DeSmith. And no depth whatsoever. Like, how does this lineup make the playoffs? It can't. Can't. There's no freaking way this lineup can make the playoffs. Sullivan's an amazing coach, yeah. He should have got a Jack Adams by now already. It's good luck. Hextall is right. He's got to change that whole lineup around. And I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. I'm pretty sure they're going to be trading away a whole bunch of players, and then Crosby is going to be like Taze. I didn't know we were rebuilding. Well, okay, you should have. You don't hire Hextall if you're not rebuilding. And I know a lot of people say Crosby will be Pittsburgh forever, but I'm not so sure that Crosby wants to go through that kind of deep rebuild. If they can do it quick, they got like 2-3 years. If they're not competitive in 2-3 years, and it looks like they're not going to be, I could definitely see Crosby saying, yeah, maybe it's time to move on. I'm having too much fun to go, but I got to go, guys. I got to go. So I'll see you tomorrow. Wow, 74 playbacks. 10 likes. Double digits likes. Woo! Awesome. I'm going to do that video tomorrow morning now because I'm starting to lose my voice a bit here. I'm going to do that video tomorrow morning. I'll have it out. And then we'll have to work on another one. So that'll be your homework for tomorrow. What video are we going to do next? Thanks for coming out, everybody. That's my full 42. Till tomorrow. Have a great day. Okay. Bye.